Okay, so to start, we're going to go to the server. On DigitalOcean, I have a Ubuntu 18 droplet with a MongoDB 4.0 database set up. Not going to go into how that is all set up, but Express Unity Auth is the backend repo project. And the way I'm going to start it is by hitting npm dev start. That will run npm run dev start, and it goes up into development mode, starting up, and it is now connected right here to my database sitting on DigitalOcean. Let's prove that. So let's look at one of the routes. We have a route here. No auth. Actually, let's just go straight to it. We'll go localhost 8050, and I'll say root example. So that goes to the route API no auth. So it returns a message, no authorization required. And we can see that was sent right here at the bottom. There was a GET request to the root route 200, which is it sent back this message, no authorization required. So how do we log in? Well, first we need to create a user in the database. Here's our database. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Now we have an empty database. This is our Express Unity Auth database, and this is the users collection. It is empty. So the way that you would create a user, I'm just going to grab one of these, is you're going to post to your REST API at the users, create. Users create. And there's nothing in the header, but in the body, we're going to put JSON type, and we're going to change the username to capital B, Bob, and the password is going to be password. And I'm going to send this, and then this is the response. The response is a JSON object that says username Bob, and it gives the token. That's the response whenever you successfully create or hit this route and create a user in the database. So here's the database. We're going to refresh, and there's Bob. And notice Bob does not have the token saved, just Bob and a hashed password. Okay, so let's prove that this will actually work. If we wanted to, let's prove that we can hit an authorized route. So one of these routes, if we do a GET request on the route me, unauthorized. Why is that? Well, it's because on our route API me, on the me route, we have this middleware called require auth, and that's basically the passport authentication system with the JWT strategy, which is saying it's looking for that token that was given to us right here in the header. So let's make an authenticated request. We're going to copy that, and we're going to do a GET request to API me. And the way we're going to do that, we're not going to post, there's nothing in the body. We're going to go to the headers, and we're going to add a new key called authorization, and we're going to stick that token right there in the header. So now when we make the GET request and we hit send, we get this message, Bob is authenticated. It's right here, we can see. There it is, API me was made. Right here, 401, that's the one from the browser. This right here, Mozilla. That's the browser. It didn't work. It was unauthorized, but the one we just made from Postman was authorized. So we know that's basically how the system works on the back end. So now let's get it working in Unity. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this, so we'll just start with a fresh database. We go over to our Unity app. Couple things to point out: when you first download the repo, you're going to go to Scenes and double click on Boot. So this is the boot scene. All it has is a game manager with a game manager script. Game manager script instantiates the UI manager, the input manager, and the auth manager. So when we hit play, we come in here and we go hit space, and it automatically says login or sign up. We're now assuming that there's no one in the database. We're going to sign up. And so we're going to make a new user called Sally. And the password is still going to be password because I don't want to remember. And hit submit. Welcome, Sally. A couple things. Data, under data, user save data, we have Sally and the token. This is a new token that was created for Sally. And now it's saved. And now to prove that, we can go over here and we can refresh. And there's Sally. Sally and our hash password. So, pretty cool. We have this saved token. This is actually saved to the local machine in the registry. Let's look at that. Go to command prompt. Reg edit. I'm on Windows, obviously. And then we're going to do a find for, in this case, it's actually quicker if I just find it by the project folder name. Unity knowledge base. You don't need to do this. This is just proving that it's there. Actually, I'm gonna go straight to it because I know where it's at. Under mine, it's under Unity editor, Zklinger 2000, Unity knowledge base. And here is the key in the registry, and then we can see when we look at the value, we can see over here, this is the JSON data, Sally and the token. So it saves. And what's cool about that is that we can actually shut this down, and the next time we restart the Unity app, and then we go here, it takes you straight there. It knows that this is a logged in person. And see right there, it pinged the back end, and so we got this private message, Sally is authenticated. And again, we can look here. That request was just made, API me, from the Unity player. Before we did it from Postman, now we did it from the Unity player. I guess the next thing to prove is that we can log out and log back in. So before we log out, here's our user data file, our user save data file. And if we log out, the only thing it's doing is deleting the information here, and it deletes it on your local machine. So you no longer have a token or a username. The username is really just there for the UI, but the token's the only thing you really need to save, because once you make that request here, you can return whatever. Okay, so let's go to login. Sally. password is password, and we log in, and then we're logged in. This is actually a new token. This is not the same token as before, and it is saved locally.